Hi guys, how's it going? I hope everyone is doing well, day or night, whenever you tune in and see this. And happy Halloween if you celebrate. All right. So, this is going to be a general reading for Sagittarius for October 29th through November 9th. It is a general reading, can cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, etc. So always take it how it resonates for you. And also wanted to say that this is a timeless reading. So for some of you guys, it could resonate 6 months in the past or 6 months in the future, days, weeks, hours, etc., years. Okay. So we'll get into your reading here in just a moment. I've pulled all of your cards ahead of time here, Sagittarius. And I do take one photo at the end of all the cards in case you want to see it up close at a later time, or if you're not watching the live and you want to pull it up while you watch or listen, you can do that too, just by clicking in the description box below and following the instructions there on how to get to my Facebook page. So we're going to go over a couple astrology notes that's general for everybody, and I will, when I get a chance, post a timestamp in case you're not interested in the astrology notes or you've already watched them from a couple of the other readings for this series. Then next time you can just skip forward to the tarot reading. I also wanted to say that for this reading, it could resonate for you, right? If you are, let me just turn this down. It's music for the dogs, but it has commercials. You could resonate with this reading perhaps, whether you're a sun sign Sagittarius, a rising sign Sagittarius, a Sagittarius moon, or even if you have Venus in Sagittarius for matters of love, right? So it all, really just depends, since it is a general reading. But that's why I always encourage everybody, if they haven't already, to get a free birth chart online just by Googling it and finding one that's free to find out your other placements. So for instance, we all have all 12 zodiac signs throughout our chart. So you're not just your sun sign or your rising sign or your moon sign. So it is something to, think about. And also too, depending on what's currently going on in your life, you could resonate, more with your moon sign or your sun sign than, maybe in the past you resonated more with your rising sign or vice versa or whatever, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to mention that as well. Let's get into the astrology notes, and hopefully you guys can see my little ghosties. And I put on some fake nails just for Halloween. We'll see how long they last. They're really cute. But anyway, all right, guys, let's get into your astrology notes. All right, so as most of you probably already know, we're in Scorpio season when I'm filming this on Sunday. Yes, it is Sunday, on the 31st, right, Halloween. Okay, so if we just go back a little bit, a few days, okay, on October 28th, we had a last quarter moon in Cancer, I believe. And then yesterday, right, Mars entered into water sign Scorpio already. Okay, so Mars, on the more like lower vibrational side, would be what we think of traditionally with Mars, the god of war, right? Is anger and frustrations and a fighting energy. But more on the higher vibrational side, you have creativity, leadership roles, and wherewithal. Okay, so there could be some crossover themes with those things I just mentioned, with Scorpio energy of endings, new beginnings, creativity, and also maybe possibly some secrets coming out as well, right? Since we talk about Scorpios. All right, so then moving forward here, on November 4th, we have a new moon in Scorpio as well. So some people like to do their manifestations or magic or goal setting around the new moon, since it's the smallest as it's slowly growing to a full moon. But of course, you can do your magic at any time, your manifestations, your goal setting, whatever you want to, do or call it, right? As long as the intention is the most important. It doesn't matter when you do it. Okay, and then on the following day, on November 5th, Venus, which covers love and assets and big wealth, is going to be entering into Earth sign Capricorn. Okay, so you could have some Venus themes, right, of love, money, assets, big wealth, entering into Capricorn Saturn energy of getting more serious about something, responsibilities, leadership roles as well, but also this really hardworking, like nose to the grindstone kind of energy. Okay. Now, moving forward on the same day, it's a big day on November 5th, right? And when we talk about these astrology notes, I haven't mentioned this in a while, is that sometimes you can feel the energy a few days before, right? It's different for everybody, and a few days after, depending on how long that transit or what's going on, okay? But yeah, it seems like November 5th is also another keynote that I didn't put on here, but I think I talked about or maybe I didn't. I can't remember anymore. But on November 5th and 6th, we are officially out of the Mercury retrograde, post shadow. Okay, so it started going out of retrograde back in, I don't remember now. When did it go out? I think it was October 18th. Yes, October 18th, Mercury went direct, right? But so it's going direct. It's going to take time to reach its full potential of direct influence, okay? So that's why I was saying November 5th, 6th, next weekend coming up, right, during this reading that we're doing, since it goes to the 9th, November 9th, it could be a lot of stuff going on there because it's officially out of its post-shadow period, okay? And then you have the Venus entering in Capricorn, and then you have the next astrology note is Mercury is also entering into water sign Scorpio. So Mercury rules communications, electronics, just to name a few, right? Is going to be entering into the Scorpio energy of endings, new beginnings, creativity, leadership, and secrets possibly coming out, just to name a few. But if you're interested more in learning more about this, you can also just Google like Mercury enters Scorpio. What does that mean if I'm a Sagittarius, sun sign Sagittarius, moon sign Sagittarius, etc. Okay. All right. Now moving forward, we have the last astrology note here is on November 8th, Athena Pallas is going to go direct. So Athena Pallas is an asteroid, not a planet, but it's close enough to still have its influence on us. So it's been in retrograde since July of this year, okay? And Athena, is the Greek goddess of wisdom, right? But there's other things that she covers as well, like talents in the arts, defense, intuition, and justice, okay? So some question, you can think about during this time and even going forward, right, is like, who is wise and who says so? Like, can I trust this person's advice or their knowledge, etc.? Okay, so that's always a good question, of course, to ask at any time, but especially when you have that Athena Pallas going direct. Okay, now the other quick thing I was going to say as far as that is that when you think of defense, right, when it comes to Athena Pallas, you can Google Athena just in general, and you'll see a lot of imagery of her holding a sword and a shield, right? So we think a lot of times the first reaction to that is outside defense, right? Defending your body, your home, people you love, whatever, okay? But we also, regardless of how you feel about the pandemic, right? When Athena Pallas is going direct, this can also talk about defense inside our bodies with our immune system, okay? So for some people, it could be that our immune systems are strengthening, from this day forward. So that sounds pretty good to me. I don't know about you guys. But yeah, so those are your astrology notes for this time period. And so we're going to get into your reading here in just a moment, Sagittarius. And since I am a sun sign Sagittarius, I always get a little excited because you guys are you're my people, but everyone's my people, so you know what I mean. But yeah, hopefully you guys have survived the Mercury retrograde without me. I did take some time off, right? If you've seen me before, to travel across country and move back to the East Coast to be closer to my parents and a couple other reasons. But yeah, so I took some time off and I'm back and I'm happy to be back. And so hopefully in the future too, I can branch off and do some different kind of readings, not just the zodiac signs, but hopefully in the future I can do some more free mini readings to open up to people, to ask questions, and then just do some stuff that's different here on the channel in the future. So hopefully that will be happening soon too. But all right, let's get into your reading here, Sagittarius. Okay. And I also wanted to say that, let me just turn this up a little bit, it got too quiet. I don't trust the dogs, the Chihuahua dogs. Also wanted to say that if this isn't your energy, Sagittarius, when we get into the reading here, it could be the energy of the person or people you're dealing with or your general environment situation. So always keep that in mind as well. And, you know, when we talk about, what's in the center here, I always start in the center and then work outwards, okay? So we have your 6 main cards in the center, and then your tarot confirmation cards along the outside with another deck. And then we also talk about what's in the top and the bottom of each deck to get even more information. And at the very end, we do some oracle cards here for you. But yeah, this energy in this first row is starting around, okay, October 28th. It could be a little bit before, a little bit after. It's not exact, right? Growing through this weekend that's almost done, depending where you are in the world, right? And then going into the beginning of November next week, and the second row going to about November 9th or so. Again, it's not exact. All right, so let's go ahead and call out your cards, and then we'll go in order here, Sagittarius. Gosh, these things move a lot. When I turn my head, it's like da-da-da-da. Okay, so you have 10 of Swords in the reverse position, Queen of Cups right side up, Ace of Swords right side up, Prince of Staves, also known as Prince of Wands in the reverse, Queen of Staves right side up, and the Empress in the reverse position. So it seems like here, Sagittarius, that in the recent past, and what is recent, you have to ask yourself that. It could be a couple of minutes ago, hours, days, weeks, months, years, etc., right? But you or the person you're dealing with, general environment situation, like I always say, right, started to let go of a lot of mental confusion, perhaps, or being too much up in your head, anxiety, worry, that kind of stuff. And that's good. That's what you want to do. You don't want to hold on to that stuff or have the mental imbalance where you're overthinking too much, okay? So you yourself started to let go of that, or the person you're dealing with, or your general environment situation here with the 10 of Swords in the reverse position. So normally when this card is right side up in this deck, you see this Japanese kind of samurai guy, warrior, whatever you want to call it, okay? And he has all these 10 swords going into the body of someone who's lying on the ground, right? And so the feeling is that when the 10 of swords is right side up, that's the energy you're feeling is the person who has all the swords inside of them, right? Who's lying there dying or dead already, right? But you switched that energy. You started to switch it in the recent past, and it's coming even more to its height and power, right, in this end of November, beginning of the first 2 weeks, not end of November, end of October, and the first 2 weeks of November here. So really nice energy to start off your reading here with Sagittarius. And now I also want to talk about, before we move forward to your second card in the main 6 here, is that we're going to go talk about real quickly, this is where my spirit guides told me to talk to you about this, is what's in the top and the bottom of your other deck here. This is the Llewellyn deck, the one with the yellow border. And this is, again, past energy, and perhaps why this 10 of Swords card came out in the reverse for you, right? So you have 4 of Swords in the right side up position. Don't do it clear. Sorry, my dog. And then you have Queen of Wands in the right side up position. So in the recent past here, Sagittarius, you yourself could have been taking a rest from something and trying to gain sense over any lingering mental confusion, anxiety, worry, overthinking, right? It also could be, for some of you guys, since it is a general reading, that you literally put something to rest, you ended something that used to stress you out, okay? Or you're just recharging your batteries, however you find yourself in this group, okay? Whichever side you find yourself on. And this led to this beautiful energy of the Queen of Wands in the right side up position of having more support around you, having this peaceful energy around you, being open-minded, taking the sunflower here that she's holding, right? From the sun card, literally. So that talks about enlightenment, revelations, I finally understand something, aha moments, to use that to help others and be a good leader, right? Since she is a queen and is in control of her kingdom, okay? But really nice energy here that supports this energy as well, all right? Now, moving forward, you have another queen here in the right side up position, but this time it's more in your present energy. You have the Queen of Cups here. And it's a really beautiful card, right? So you see this woman, this queen here, holding up her cup. And she looks like a kind of younger queen, right? She's not the traditional old wise woman, right? Okay. But there's also a cup in the background in this kind of stained glass window here, and it looks like this medieval kind of scene. I think in this deck it's supposed to be Guinevere, okay? I'm not sure exactly. But, you know, this is a really nice position, again, to feel all the support around you from your support systems. It could be that you are getting into this type of energy already, or someone around you is helping you get into that, or just being a good role model for you. Okay, but you're in control of your emotions. The cups in tarot represent the emotional fulfillment, satisfaction. Okay, what makes you happy? What's your priorities in life? Okay, that kind of energy here. So really, really nice energy. And if it is Guinevere, which I think it is, it's like this dreamy, kind of poetic creativity energy, feminine energy as well. Even if you're not, you know, a feminine person, how you identify, it's just a metaphor, right? Okay. But yeah, then your third card again is really beautiful here, Sagittarius. You have the Ace of Swords in the right side up position as well. Hopefully the camera, there we go, come back. So this talks about mental clarity, cutting through bullshit, right? Having the ability to like distinguish what's real and what's not. Okay, it's also about fertility, creating things, right? Giving birth to a new project, relationship, job, etc. Okay, but this is really nice airy energy, right? And it's also for momentum, positive energy. Okay, because you can look at the sword. Just like we talk about fire sometimes in other readings, right? Fire, it can be used to make things, used to make things, but also can destroy things, right? So the same thing with the sword, right? It could be a tool, but it could also be a weapon, all right? Now, going forward here into your second row, Sagittarius, there is, you know, a little bit of a blockage here and there, but it's not like the end of the world, right? And you still have some other really good cards coming out as well. So it seems like it could be for some of you guys, again, it's not exact, that maybe in that first week or towards the end of that first week of November, there's something going on where there could be somebody, if it's not you yourself, maybe having a hard time processing some emotions, perhaps, or there's a confidence issue, or there's a little bit of hesitation as far as leveling up in some way. If it's not those things, it could also just be that somebody, either you yourself or another person, energy around you, is not open to learning something new. Okay, and I say that because your card is the Prince of Staves in the reverse position, also known as Prince of Wands in the reverse. So when we talk about, and just so you can see it right side up, you see this Egyptian man, handsome prince here, and the Nile River is behind him, right? But when we talk about the different levels in like the in the medieval system, or not even medieval, because we had kings in Egypt too, but you know, the system of moving up. So you have page, knight, king, or you have, I think, oh, now I'm going to mess this up. Or instead of a knight, you have a prince and then king. But I can't remember what comes before knight, if it's not page. It's not a scholar or something. Anyway, whatever, you get the point. It's like you're slowly leveling up. There's different systems, okay? So there could be some energy here with not everybody, but some people where there is a hesitation to level up, or like, since he's still a prince and not a king yet, he's open to learning new things. So in some way, maybe somebody's not open to doing that in some particular area of their life, okay? Or it's also just having them hard time process the emotions, right? Since the Nile River is in the background here, okay? So mastery over your emotions, right? A time and a place for everything, and not trusting everybody with your emotions, right? That does come with age, right? So he's still maybe learning those things, but he has to be open to taking advice from others or seeing something from a new perspective, that kind of energy. All right. So let's go forward. Like I said, it doesn't last very long because then literally your next card is also a staves or wands card. And who do you have? The Queen of Staves, right? His mother, okay, of the last guy in the card. So here she is, very confident. She definitely has her emotions in control. She's responsible for others. People look up to her. But she also has a lot of support all around her, and she's earned and stepped into her own power, and she's earned her right to, be a queen. Okay, so this is really abundant energy. This is for momentum. So really nice. So like I said, that little bit of blockage there, whatever we were just talking about, it doesn't last very long because then it switches pretty quickly, which is always nice, right? Let me just turn this up again. I got really quiet. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I have my washer going in the background, and sometimes it gets a little loud, but I'm trying to project. So let's actually get into your last card here in the main six. And after we talk about this, before we get to your confirmation cards with the other deck, we're also going to go over what was on the top and the bottom of your other deck, the one we're using for the main six, the Ancestral Path Tarot, to get more insight about why this card came out, okay? So your last card here is the Empress in the reverse position. So this is another little bit of blockage towards the end of the first week or so of November. Again, not exact, right? But there could be some stagnant energy in general. There could be you're having some trouble with creativity or this feminine energy that normally the Empress represents, right? When the card is right side up, you see this beautiful pregnant woman, and she's sitting on her throne right by this waterfall in the background. So when it's right side up, she's again in control of her emotions in a healthy, balanced way. But it's in reverse. It could be again some more emotions are coming up for somebody, you yourself or the person you're dealing with, a general environment, or it could just be that stagnant energy, the slowing down of energy. And when we talk about the feminine energy, right, it could be something to do with going back a little bit to, you only have two blockages here, Sagittarius. Your first blockage, right, the Prince of Staves in the reverse, where I talked about for some people there could be a fear of leveling up or moving up in a relationship, a job, whatever it may be, right? It could be also the same thing with the Empress, right? So she's pregnant, even though it's reversed. So she could be a little bit of hesitation here as far as now getting ready to give birth, start this new project, relationship, job, etc. Okay. But we're going to talk about your Empress in reverse along with what was on the top and the bottom of your deck to find out even more, okay? So on the top, you have Princess of Sacred Circles in the right side up position and the Magician in the reverse position. Now, when we talk about, again, what's on the top and the bottom, this is past energy. What is past? You have to ask yourself that each individually, right? But check this out. She's pregnant too, okay? Just to put those side to side. One's right side up, right? And one's reverse. So one is past energy too, and one is more future energies. So in the recent past here, Sagittarius, you yourself or someone around you was feeling very abundant, feeling comfortable, open to learning new things, right? Slowly stacking their abundance with the Princess of Sacred Circles in the right side up position, also known as Princess of Pentacles, right? And then there is something here that happened that perhaps affected your confidence or the other person's confidence, or just a general feeling of support in some way, right? With the Magician in the reverse position, okay? And this could be why you have the Empress at the end of your reading in the reverse position, because again, it's a confidence thing, and it definitely has to be. I feel like for the majority of you, that it is a confidence around something new, right? Because she's pregnant in both these cards. So a new job, a new relationship, a new home, whatever it may be, a new phase of a job, relationship, or home, right? However it resonates for you, where there's like a little bit of possibly second guessing yourself or your confidence here or the other person's confidence or the general environment, if it's a corporation's confident, whatever, but it's not the end of the world, right? Because knowledge is power, okay? So just something small to look out for or pay attention to, all right? But like I said, pretty much you have a really nice reading here, Sagittarius. We're still going to get into your confirmation cards, but 6 cards in the main center, and only 2 of them are kind of like warning cards. So that's pretty good. So let's get into the confirmation cards. So we'll just see what we have, and then we'll go in order here. So you have the Judgment card in the reverse position, the Fool in the reverse position, and the 4 of Cups in the reverse position. So these first 2 confirmation cards is usually past energy. So in the recent past, excuse me, there could have been something that you were waiting for a judgment on, you're waiting for justice on, something to be brought to justice. Perhaps it didn't go in the way that you wanted it to go, or it was put on hold or didn't happen at all, since the Judgment card is in the reverse position, right? There's a couple of different ways it can go. And I have a little bit of a incense scorch mark on there, but hopefully you can still see the card when it's right side up. So you see this man, and he's in his tomb and he's dead, right? And there's another guy at the top coming down with the light to come wake him up. It's like the judgment day kind of from the Bible scene, okay? So who's going to be judged, who's weighed correctly to come be born again, all that kind of stuff, right? But when it's in the reverse position here, Sagittarius, it could be saying that you've decided you're not going to restart something for some of you guys, right? Because the judgment could be rebirthing something. So since it's in reverse, you decided, I'm not going to restart that. I don't want a new phase or cycle with something I've already done before. Or like I said before, it's something that was weighed and judged, and you felt like it wasn't weighed or judged correctly, or they did, or the general environment situation here, okay? But when this card is coming in here and it's confirming the 10 of Swords in reverse and the Prince of Staves right side, or no, that's reverse too, sorry. And the Prince of Staves in the reverse position as well, right? It's like I'm putting this anxiety, worry, overthinking too much up in my head. I'm letting that go. And I'm also trying to process my emotions around letting all these things go, if it is, or if it didn't go in my favor, this judgment didn't go in my favor or their favor, etc. How to process that so then you can move forward and be open at the same time to learning new things, right? And stacking your abundance, okay? All right, this here. Now you're, oh, you know what I forgot to mention? Let's see, we have, at the beginning of the reading, I was trying to remember to call it the zodiac signs that I see. So you have a little bit of Scorpio energy, but it's majority Libra, Gemini, a little bit of Sagittarius, and Gemini again. Okay, so it could be that you are dealing with those signs, or somebody has a lot of those signs in their chart, like heavy in their chart, or you do, or they do, etc., or it means nothing at all. Okay, but I did want to mention that real quickly. But if you're really into it, you can check out the picture that I posted on my Facebook, and you can look up even the minor arcana signs that showed up, because I usually just do the majors. Okay, anyway. With your second confirmation card here, Sagittarius, you have the Fool in the reverse position. All right. And so this is saying that in the recent past, perhaps some of you were scared to make a leap of faith, or have trust in something that maybe other people saw saw as foolish or you saw as foolish, okay? But, when it's right side up, you see this man on the horse leaping over one side of the river to the next, right? And so everyone's like, I don't think you can do that. It's a really big jump. You're not going to make it, right? But look at, there's a little dog next to him, right? That's the loyalty. So it could be for some of you guys too in the reverse position that you're questioning somebody's loyalty or they're questioning yours, right? Just a small side note, it's not for everybody, okay? But it's just this general feeling of maybe not wanting to look foolish, not ready to make a leap of faith or move forward on something that isn't like 100% guaranteed. And what is guaranteed in life? Not a lot, right? But this energy too, since it is past energy here, Sagittarius, it could be that you had this experience of not wanting to make the leap of faith, or they didn't, or whoever, right? The energy in general. And it made you question some people's loyalty, or they questioned yours. But then it's like you're not going to let another opportunity pass you by, I feel like, or not going to get into caring necessarily what other people think. If they say, oh my God, that's a huge jump, you're not going to make it. That kind of energy. Because even though the Fool is in reverse here, right, it leads to all these beautiful cards with the Queen of Cups in the right side up position and also your other Queen of Staves in the right side up position. So it's almost saying to you, Sagittarius, too, that you shouldn't be afraid to, if you still have another opportunity or chance to make this leap of faith, if it's not completely shut down, or you can find something else that's similar or whatever it may be, right, that it will reap amazing benefits and people will support you. And so if there was a question of loyalty in some small way in the past, here you have both of these queens, right, on their throne or next to it, okay? And so they can lean back and have their support system, whatever it may be for them, have the emotional fulfillment of the cups and also the defense of the staves or wands moving forward. All right. And now your last confirmation tarot card here, Sagittarius, is the Four of Cups in reverse position. But this card actually you do want to see in the reverse position here. And this is more future current energies, okay? So this is saying that in the way past, what is way past? You have to ask yourself that, right? It could be days, weeks, months, years, minutes, etc., right? Somebody was not happy with their current circumstances or options or situation, right? You see this woman sitting under the tree and she's looking at the 3 cups with her arms crossed and she's not super happy. But what she doesn't realize is that there's that other cup above her head. If she just slightly changes her perspective or gives things more time, has a little more patience, right? Which I know can definitely be hard for Sagittarius in particular. Not, I mean, everyone, it's hard to be patient, but particularly Sagittarius, I feel like, okay? When it's right side up, but yours came out reversed. So it means that you've already decided to be patient or started to look at something from a new perspective, or the person you're dealing with, or multiple people you're dealing with, or a general environment or situation, starting to do that, okay? And that's really beautiful, and that's how you want to see that card. Yes, right on the bell there. They're like, I agree. All right. Now, when this Four of Cups is in reverse, coming in here and confirming the Ace of Swords right side up, and the Empress in reverse here. Okay, this is basically saying that this surrendering to trust in the divine, that they will bring better cups, better emotional fulfillment, satisfaction, emotional priorities to you. The more that you surrender to that and have more patience, right? Then you'll have more mental clarity. You'll be able to distinguish and cut through bullshit and see what's truth and what's lies, right? And also get into the energy of birthing a new project, a new phase, cycle, etc. Okay? And so as long as you kind of stay in these two energies and just take the Empress in reverse as a warning of, don't be scared to start that new project, cycle, relationship, job, whatever it is, okay? Because you can handle it, and you have the divine feminine is within all of us. So maybe it's saying to let go of maybe more of your masculine side, maybe this situation that you're dealing with or this new project, stage, relationship, all that stuff, right? Then maybe it requires more of your feminine energy, or the general environment situation in general requires that in some way. It's not for everybody, okay? But just really mastering your emotions in a more balanced point of view. And so you can get back to starting that new cycle in your life, okay? And having more mental clarity in general, all right? So really beautiful reading here, Sagittarius. And, that is what I have for you in regards to the tarot. But real quick before you go, let's get your oracle cards because I know I'm a little bit over time, but not too bad. So your first one here is the animal tarot that I've been using. Sorry guys, I feel like I need to sneeze. Hold on a second. Now that I said it, it's not going to happen. But if it does, I'm just going to go sneeze over there. Okay. So your first oracle card here, Sagittarius, is the cheetah. It's really cute. Look at the cheetah. Oh. And it says, get clear on your intention, stay focused, and move quickly to achieve your goal. So yeah, that's definitely Ace of Swords energy, right? Cut out any bullshit, know what's truth and what's lies, and manifest your reality however you want to do that. So very nice. Okay, now moving forward, your next oracle card is just your love oracle message. This time you actually have two. I usually only take one, but Spirit wanted me to take two for you this time. And so your first one is Unrequited Love, okay? And don't freak out yet, wait. But basically it says, there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going, all right? So whether you're watching for romantic reasons or platonic love with friends or family or even self-love, you can definitely apply this in different ways, right? But it just could be that maybe you and the other person or people, if it's multiple people or even yourself, right, is not on the same page or the same vibration or frequency at this time. It doesn't mean that it'll always be that way, right? It's a general reading, so of course it depends on each person. But yeah, that is the message that came out this time for you guys. So I don't sugarcoat any messages. I try to say things with as much love as I can, but this is the card that Spirit wanted you to see, so that's what it is, okay? Now you did have an extra one, and maybe that was Spirit's way of being like, all right, like, I know that was rough, but here's your other one. So your second love oracle message is worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work, okay? And so if you're watching for romantic, reasons, you could say that there is divine timing in your love life, like the card says. But also, if you're watching for self-love, you could say divine timing is going to help you love yourself more, right? More completely. Give yourself time and know that you are worthy, right? And then if it's platonic love with friends or family, it's the same kind of energy as divine timing is at work within those relationships as well with your friends and family. So also give them time and know that every relationship, right, is a two-way street or two-party energy, right? There's usually, even if it's multiple people that you're dealing with, right, with friends and family, there's usually supposed to be a reciprocal give and take, right? So those are just a couple things to think about along with that card, okay? It's the best way I can describe it. Hopefully you know what I'm trying to say. All right, and then real quickly here, Sagittarius, your last oracle message is the Hawk Prince, okay? And you see this Native American man who looks almost like an angel with these big wings behind his back. And then there is two hawks in his arms, on each arm, okay? But this talks about spiritual communication and paying attention to signs, okay? So this could be a particular message for some of you guys during this time frame. Just like along with the cheetah, I forgot to say this earlier, I always encourage everybody, if you're really into it, right, to look up the shamanic Native American or power animal spirit message of the cheetah and the hawk, right? So if in case there's some other messages here of how you can incorporate cheetah or even hawk magic during this time frame to help you with any of this, or even after that, I always encourage that. So, but yeah, that is your reading here, Sagittarius. So again, thank you so much, guys, for coming back after I took a break, a longer break than I wanted to. But I really appreciate you guys and your energy and your views and your likes and your shares. So yes. Going to take a little bit of a break, but then I will be back with Capricorn, since we already did Scorpio before. So you can always join me there, but if not, that's okay too. I will see you next time and take care. All right, bye.